I'd like to start this video off by thanking all of you for the overwhelmingly positive response to my last Note 4 video. You guys are awesome. Today, I have a sneak peek at a feature that hasn't received much attention, the new Photo Note app. This is by far one of my favorite features on the Note 4. In this video, I'll be going through a rough overview of some of the awesome things you can do with Photo Note. I'll be making a very in-depth video on the Photo Note app that covers every menu, option, and feature once I get my Note 4 and can set up a camera on a tripod. For now, I'll just cover the highlights. When you open the app, you'll see what looks like a regular camera app. There's an option to turn the grid on and off, an option to turn the flash on and off, a shutter button, a gallery button, and a button that toggles between manual and automatic modes. I'll cover what the difference is between manual and automatic later on in this video. Instead of using the default picture at the demo station, I wanted to see if this really worked on images taken in real life, not just an optimized demo image. So, I drew up some random graphs and equations on a whiteboard, took a picture of that, then beamed the photos onto the Galaxy Note 4. If you're an iPhone user, think of beaming like using AirDrop. Anyway, on the bottom left of the app, there's a gallery icon. When you tap that icon, it takes you to your gallery where you can select any photo you have on your device. Tapping a photo will open it in the Photo Note app with a blue rectangle around it. This is the same thing you will see if you took a photo from within the app on manual mode. Drag these corners to match the angle that the photo is taken at. This is used to help the app reorient the image to make it look like the photo was taken from directly in front of the whiteboard. If the blue lines turn red, that means the app won't be able to properly modify the image. Simply adjust the corners until it becomes blue again. You can also use your finger to modify the blue box. Once you're satisfied, tap the check mark at the top right of the screen. The app will reorient the image and a new blue box will appear. This box is used to isolate certain parts of the image that you want to remove the background from to make it easier to edit. In this case, I want the whole background to be removed, so I stretch the box over the entire image. You can also add more blue boxes if you want to remove the background from a few small sections, but not the entire image. This toggle enables or disables the Remove Background option. Each new box you add will have its own toggle. A white box means it won't remove the background, and a blue box means it will remove the background. Once you hit the check mark at the top right, the background will be removed, but the colors will remain intact. You can now move and rotate the image. As you can see, I didn't do the best job lining the first blue box up with the angle of the picture, so the graphs are a bit slanted. If you drag the blue circle close to the image, the angle will change in 5-degree increments. However, if you pull further away, you can adjust the angle by a single degree at a time. That works out well for me because I only needed to rotate the image by 2 degrees. Once you're happy with the angle, tap the Convert to Edit icon. This converts the photo to a vector image so you can edit each part of the image individually. From here, you can erase everything you don't need. There are 2 ways to erase something. You can erase with a circular eraser with a variable size, or erase by line. Since I want to erase lines, it makes more sense to use that option here. I can also move the equations by going into selection mode. If a section is too small for me to accurately select, then I can double tap the screen to enter zoom mode, then pinch in and out to zoom further in or out. I can also drag around the image with a single finger. If you tap the finger icon on the top toolbar, that will enable or disable the use of your finger for writing and selecting. The only reason you would toggle this is if you wanted to use your finger to draw or select something instead of the stylus. Not sure why you'd want to do that, but the option is there. This does bring up a very important thing though. By keeping finger drawing off, you can rest your palm right on the screen without messing anything up and be able to write more naturally. All I need to do now is select then drag the equations. I can then select the whole image and resize it. The best part about this is that the image has been converted to a vector image, which means I can resize this as much as I want without losing any detail. You can also change the color of anything you want. I want to change the color of my equations to match the color of the graph they go with. I just need to select the equations, then tap Properties. From here, I can change both the layout and line properties. For now, I just want to change the line color, so I tap the Line tab. The horizontal bar with the number 25 above it changes the line thickness. This is handy for when you want to shrink something down, but the lines end up being too thick and the text starts to overlap. There's also an eyedropper icon that allows you to select a color from the image you're editing if you want to be more precise. Once you tap the eyedropper, a new, smaller window will pop up that shows you the color that you selected. I don't select any different colors here, so the box remains the same color. Once you've selected the color, just tap the color in the new window to go back into the properties. Tap outside of the properties window to exit. I'm going to do the same with the other equation now. Now let's say you want to see what the graphs look like overlaid on top of each other. Simply select a graph and drag it onto the other graph. When we zoom in, we can see that part of the orange graph was removed. We can easily add that back in by switching to the pen tool and drawing in the missing part. Tap the pen icon once to select the pen tool, then a second time to go into the pen settings. Here, you can select a wide variety of writing tools that I will cover in my in-depth S Pen guide later on. For now, I just want to change the color to match the graph. To leave the pen settings, tap the X at the top right corner of the window. If you tap outside of the window, you will start drawing like I did. Simply tap the undo button once if you make the same mistake. Now, all I need to do is draw in the missing segment and I'm done. I also don't need the extra dollar symbol anymore. I can easily erase that by tapping the erase icon and wiping the dollar sign away. Now I want to move the other equation below the graph to keep everything more compact. Let's use the lasso selector tool this time. Tap the selection icon at the top twice, once to enter selection mode, then once more to enter the selection mode settings. The options here are pretty self-explanatory. Either select objects by dragging a rectangle around them, or by drawing a shape around what you want. You can also delete objects by selecting them, then tapping delete. This works well if you want to quickly move things around and delete other things without having to switch back and forth between the selection tool and the eraser. Now that the graphs and equations are more compact, we can resize them to fit the screen by selecting everything, then dragging one of the corners. No detail will be lost by doing this because, as I mentioned earlier, these are now vector images. Let's say these notes were from a finance class and you want to add some text to remind you which class it was when you look back at the graphs later. You can add text by writing with the pen tool or by tapping the T at the top. Once you tap the T, a new text box will appear and the keyboard will pop up ready for you to start typing. When you're done typing, tap outside of the keyboard to minimize it. To edit the text you just wrote, tap the selection tool, then tap the text. When you click the properties icon, you are met with tons of options, everything from font settings to alignment settings and more. I won't go into all of them now, but I will cover every option in my S Pen guide later on. For now, I'm just going to make the text bigger, make it bold, italicized, and underlined, change the font, and center the text. To move the text, just drag and drop it like everything else. You'll also notice a blue circle above the text box. This allows you to rotate the text just like I rotated the graphs at the beginning of this video. Another quick note before we move on. There are also line and fill options for the text if you drag the tabs in the text properties window to the left. Those allow you to change line color and thickness as well as give the whole text box a background color. When you're done editing, hit the check mark at the top right corner of the screen to save it. This puts you into view mode where you can scroll around the image and review everything without worrying about accidentally changing something. To go back into edit mode, tap the pencil at the top left of the screen. Now let's say you're in class and the professor has drawn some more equations on the board. You can easily take another picture from within the photo note editor by tapping the camera icon. This will take you right into the photo note capture mode. If the camera is set to auto, then all you have to do is tap the shutter icon at the bottom. The app will automatically reorient the photo to look like it was taken from directly in front of the whiteboard, remove the background, and drop the image onto a new page in the same photo note. All you have to do now is tap the Convert to Edit button. Let's say these equations are directly related to the graphs you had on the other page. You can select them with the lasso tool, cut them, create a new page by tapping the plus icon, then paste them on the new page. Now go back to the first page, select the relevant information, then copy and paste that onto the new page. It's as easy as that. Even though this was a longer video, I'm still only scratching the surface of all the amazing things you can do with the PhotoNote app. In a later video, I'll show you all of the options, shortcuts, submenus, features, how to embed a resizable video, and even how to make scrapbook pages that you can post to Facebook, all from within PhotoNote. In other news, I haven't started up my new channel just yet, mainly because I'm still trying to think of a good name for it that hasn't already been taken. Let me know in the comments below what you think the new channel name should be. It's going to be a channel full of tech reviews like this one, as well as some comical/cinematic shorts I make. I thought about Tech Cinema for a name, but that was already taken. I could also just use my real name, Eric Arroyo, and leave it at that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Also, if you missed my last video on the 240 frame per second recording with the Note 4, you can click the Note 4 in the video. One more thing. Let me know what you guys want to know about the Note 4 and I'll be sure to make a video about it. I'll be doing an entire Note 4 video series to cover anything and everything, so no request is too small or too big. Except for drop tests, or throw tests, or microwave tests, or any test that involves me trying to break my phone. Aside from those, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in my next video.